People say a dream begins on draft day.
With the first pick of the first round of the 2009 MLS Super Draft, Seattle Sounders FC select Steve Zakuani. Toronto FC select Sam Cronin, Omar Gonzalez, Chris Pontius, John Alexander, Stephen Fry,
AJ De La Garza. The 13th pick of the 4th round, the Chicago Fire select Richard Jada.
But this is a dream long in the making.
I just want to thank my dad.
As we begin training camp, the dream continues,
but a new journey begins.
You're the new guy out there.
You have to fight to earn a spot on the team.
You have to fight
for playing time.
Nothing is guaranteed.
It's been my dream all my life.
I want to win.
I want to win.
I want to win.
I need to win MLS Cup.
The dreams may be similar.
To make the team.
To play soccer and get paid for it.
To earn a spot on the team.
But the paths taken are not. Steve Zakuani grew up in England, played for Arsenal's youth academy, and dreamed of becoming a professional for the first team.
We played some tournaments every summer, and there'd be professional teams come and watch us play all the time. And so one time there was an Arsenal scout there, and I never knew, so I was playing, and we got in the car afterwards, and my dad said, who's your favourite team in the Premier League? I said, Manchester United. He goes, well, that's too bad because you're going to Arsenal on Tuesday. Played there for 5 years till I was around 14. In England, it's supposed to be at 16 you're done with school, and so that's when you're allowed to actually turn full-time and start training every day with a professional team. But Arsenal actually did it 2 years earlier. Once you got to 14, they would take you out of your regular school and put you in a school that they could supervise. And so we had about 18, 19 guys on the roster, I think, and they took it down to 7 or 8, I can't remember. And so I was one of the guys who was cut down, didn't make the cut, and they told me, if we had kept 11, you'd be here. If anyone asked me what would you be doing in 10 years, I said I'll be playing professionally for Arsenal. And so when that was no longer a reality, it hit me. It was hard, and the following 2 years after that, I played still, but there was no passion there. It was just for the fun. It was probably more to make my dad happy because it was his dream as much as it was my dream. And I just lost that passion. Anyone who saw me knew that it wasn't the same. And it was a big blow, big setback. I had another setback. I had a knee injury. I was on a moped actually and hit into a car, and that one was probably even bigger than Arsenal because I remember the night of the accident I was in the hospital, and my dad came in and he asked the doctor, when can he play again? And the doctor said, play, we'll be glad to focus on his walking first. It took me 18 months to come back from that, and at that point I'd officially retired. I said I'm not going to play this sport again, and one day just got a phone call from one of my friends who played with me at Arsenal and said, hey, we've got a game at the weekend, we're kind of short, can you fill in? And it was the first time I'd played in almost 2 years, and I came in, played, liked the club, and that coach was kind of young. He understood what was going on, and he began inviting US coaches to come and watch us. And it just happened that Akron was the one I was sold to. I liked the assistant coach a lot. I liked the vision of the program they sold me, and I just went there. After my freshman year, I was able to sort out a training time with Preston. They're a big club in England, and I enjoyed it a lot. And they liked the way I play, and they said, we're going to follow you this fall season. So I went back to Akron, obviously had a great sophomore year, and when the time came, I knew it was I started to know, I'm not going to be here next year. I'm going to get some good opportunities I can't turn down. And it turned out to be 2 weeks of just constant negotiation. And what it came down to was, soccer-wise, they were both very, very good deals. But with me being 2 years down in my degree at Akron and knowing that I did want to finish it, with the Generation Adidas contract, I can go back to school, and that was the major turning point. And once that was there, I said I want to stay in the States, and I enjoy living here too. So.
Another player who grew up in Europe before coming to the US was Stephen Fry. A promising talent, Fry made the Swiss under-15 national team at age 14.
I played college for 4 years. My freshman year I redshirted. I had some very good keepers in front of me. The first year I had some time to just kind of get used to the different pace and everything and learn from the big guy. And after that, my sophomore year, I just slowly got some playing time, got used to handling a little pressure and everything. My junior year, I played every minute and every game, and I became sort of a leader of the team. And I had a very good year. I got first team All-American. I did fairly well. Decided to come back for one more year because I was going to be captain of the team, and I thought that would help me in the future with my career to know how to lead a team. So I came back and had a pretty decent season as well for my fourth year. The Generation Adidas contract they offered me was very good. On top of that, I felt like I might have a shot in MLS to get some playing time and, most importantly, get some experience in the near future. While Europe, first of all, it's kind of far away, and I wanted to stay a little bit close to home, maybe still. And I just felt like the situation in MLS would maybe allow me to get some experience, and that's all it's about right now. Is just because as a goalkeeper, you might be able to play till you're 40 if you're lucky, but it's all about getting that experience, and I felt like the MLS would offer me that.
Gene Alexander's journey also began outside of the States. He came over from Haiti before enrolling at Lynn University, a Division II soccer power close to his new home in Florida.
Well, I grew up in a family of football, because in Haiti, soccer is a sport where everyone plays it. My father himself used to play soccer, so that's how I got introduced to the game. You know, these other high school kids, they rather go to a big D1 school or even a D1 school that's not so good just so they can go to D1 school. My choice was different because the program I went to was one of the best D2 programs in the country.
Alexander impressed the Real Salt Lake staff when his college team scrimmaged the pro side in February of 2008.
It was actually a tough day for us because Lynn College, this little Division II team, beat us in the preseason. But one of the goals they scored was fantastic.
I don't know about that. I had a good game because, you know, every time we play professional teams, everyone gets up for it. You know, we get excited because we want to show what we're made of.
Alexander moved to forward his senior season in college, after many years as a central midfielder. Omar Gonzalez made a much different change earlier in his playing career, moving from forward to center back.
Well, the transition came about after I left the national team to go play with the Dallas Texans, and I think Sasho called up David Hudgel and asked him to put me at center back because Sasho thought that that's where I would be playing. My first tournament with the Dallas Texans, I played in the Dallas Cup, and we ended up winning it. And so that was a good accomplishment for me. And from then on, I kept on playing center back. And throughout Maryland, I played next to AJ.
AJ is AJ De La Garza, who teamed in central defense with Gonzalez at Maryland and helped lead the Terrapins to an NCAA championship.
I started the national semifinal and finals my freshman year against, played SMU in New Mexico. We won in 2005. We beat New Mexico in the finals 1-0. My sophomore and junior year were kind of rebuilding years for us. They shouldn't have been, but they were. We kind of lost 2 bad games at home in the Sweet 16 in double overtime each game with about a minute to go in each game, and it was just 2 upsetting games back to back like that. My senior year, we gave up 1 goal in 7 games, or 8 games throughout the ACC tournament and the NCAA tournament, it helped us prevail.
It's no surprise that many of the highest-rated players in the draft pool have NCAA championships to their names, including Wake Forest central midfielder Sam Cronin.
As the season began, just talking to my coach a little bit, we had a good relationship with him, and he would kind of let me in the know on things that were kind of going around a little bit without obviously distracting what the team was trying to accomplish that year. But as the season came to a close, and then we lost in the College Cup, from then on we had about a month to really get things going and talk about all the different scenarios and all the talk that's been going on throughout the season. So once our season concluded, then from then going down in the combine and then the draft, it was all starting to pick up a little bit. My main source was just talking to my coach, Coach Vidovich at school, and then also my agent who was working for me. So and I trust both those guys very much, and I thought they would lead me in the right direction. Coach Jay was just pretty much saying, you're doing well, everyone's kind of has you on their radar, just go down to Fort Lauderdale and do what you've done here for us at Wake for the past 4 years, and you'll be fine. You'll be in a good setup. So I just tried to do that, and everything worked out for the best.
Chris Pontius is another player with an NCAA championship, his from UC Santa Barbara's 2006 run. As important as he was to that team, he almost wasn't a part of it.
So I was basically the last guy recruited to Santa Barbara. Ended up, playing a lot my freshman year. Down like the last game of the season, he put me at right back. Did well there. Played there my whole sophomore year. Started there my junior year. Ended up moving up to like right and left wing and got a couple goals in my first couple games, so they kept me there. And then from there on out, I was pretty much in the offense. So I went from defense to offense basically. And my senior year was all offense.
The one thing linking all of these players is the dream to play professionally in a sport they love. These dreams are many times shared by those around them.
My dad didn't have the support from his family, his dad, to pursue it, and he thought he was good enough to play either basketball or baseball. It was just his goal to have his sons, work as hard as they could. All three of them play college sports, and he wanted at least one of us to play pro and whatever. He was my best friend, my #1 fan. He just would always talk to me, motivate me, give me words of wisdom. If I had a bad practice or if I had a good practice or a game, whatever, he would just say, you're one step closer to your professional career. There's not just one path, There's many paths, some are just longer than the others. And that's the hardest thing to think about, because I feel like I've been on a long path already. I feel like I could have played pro when I came out of high school.